thank you very much for taking the time to speak with us here at Sibos in Amsterdam.
It's always a pleasure, Ali.
What is SmartStream showcasing at this year's Sibos, and how does it affect the challenges the industry is facing?
I think we're reaffirming a lot of what we had before, which have definitely evolved significantly over the last year. What's brand new is our exception management platform under Air, but we're also showcasing our corporate actions, cash management, fees and expense management, and effectively the whole gamut of suites we have at SmartStream.
The way I see it, there's a real ESG element to Sibos this year. There's a lot of people are talking about that.
Yes.
But I personally think, keep the ESG to one side. There's certain things like Air is a lot more efficient than having a huge warehouse full of people. It's a lot more environmentally friendly, as well as a lot more efficient and a bit cheaper.
Yeah.
What's your sort of take on efficiencies within the industry, and how can SmartStream work within this?
I really don't think it's a matter of if anymore. I think we're all heading in that direction. We've started with Air. I'm looking for a more aggressive agenda for us next year. When you have multi-tenanted centers, when you have moving to the cloud, all help us in serving and reducing the impact we leave on the environment, right? Unifying clients' requirements. And we're really moving towards greater, more efficient processing with some of the new processors coming out. And the physical technology infrastructure changes, I think, is going to help us a lot in reducing our impact and help our clients really see the value from an environmental impact.
And that ties with your booth here with obviously the hydro garden, but then also all of the cool stuff you're doing with things like Air.
Yes, definitely. I mean, it's a direction where we're pushing aggressively, and I think next year will be even a more interesting year for us on that front.
I understand you recently won a significant award for your UI design. Can you tell us more about that?
Oh, I didn't know that. We've actually won the Red Dot Award for design for our AI reconciliation engine, Air. We are the only fintech app to actually, financial app to actually win that ever. It's usually given, I'm sure people are familiar with the Red Dot. No, it's given to much larger organization, usually in different industries, but it's the first ever to be given to a financial services app. So we're very proud, and it continues and it's a testament to the work that the team is putting in our innovation labs, our UI, UX teams, and the rest of our organization.
Why do you think you won it?
We're simply the best.
Yes. Regulation is becoming increasingly tight with payment transactions and reconciliation. Is this a necessary wake-up call for banks?
It is, but I mean, banks would be fooling themselves if they were not expecting it, right? And that's where the trend is: greater transparency, greater regulation, and the ability to track a transaction at every instance is really becoming critical. Let alone where it's coming from, who are the parties participant in it, and I think one of the main themes for this year at Sibos was the ISO 20022, which is we're all thriving for, and we're working a lot with our clients today to address the challenges they have in that area.
Regulation. I always see there's sort of two parts to regulation. There's ticking the box to adhere to the rules and not get fined, and then there's adhering to the spirit of the regulation, i.e. why those rules and regulations were put into place in the first instance. How do you ensure that your clients are prepared for the regulations of 2023, 2024 and beyond?
I mean, the spirit of the regulations go well along our previous discussions on ESG, right? It's a social impact. And everybody's sort of the ecosystem is coming together, whether through regulators, individuals, clients. to really help address some of the gaps that were in the financial sector, and still persist in certain areas. And I still think it's a long way for us to, we still have to go to address all the challenges. But we continue to work very closely with some of the top institutions in the world in helping them address these challenges, building their transparencies, building the I think the checkpoints necessary in their business to ensure that they are as compliant as possible, that there are no surprises coming in. So for example, our cash management engine today works heavily with treasurers of financial institutions to really address what if a payment doesn't come in, what if a bank falters or a specific currency crashes in Asia before the US markets open up. How do you cater for that? What's your exposure? So it's all really, the ecosystem is really coming together much more than it had ever done, and it feels much better orchestrated.
We're constantly hearing about how the back office needs to be modernized in financial institutions. What realistic steps should they be taken to move innovation forward? What can banks do to kind of move their back office forward?
Yeah, I think some of our clients would not like to hear that, but I think there should be a neutral, fundamental look of institutions on what they need to do internally in terms from a technology perspective. There are many small firms or companies even similar to us that are profoundly proficient at what we do. We are experts. And surprisingly, in some instances today you see institutions wanting to do things themselves. I mean, it's defeating its purpose. In most cases, banks and institutions spend millions of dollars, they go down the drain, only to realize 1 or 2 years down the line that, oh, we should have done it to somebody who actually does it for a living.
Why is that? It still blows my mind that I heard a big US bank recently said they're going to be building their own data centers, and I thought, wait, really? Why is that culture still there, that everything should be behind high walls in house?
I think to a minimum part of it's regulations, but even today where you can build a technical infrastructure that allows you to maintain that segregation, maintains those virtual walls, and you don't really need to own the infrastructure behind it, right? And the many regulators are ensuring that if you maintain a data center in the US, are you able to fall back remotely, as in a place in Canada, the UK, whatever it is in the world that will give you that protection necessary. And the infrastructure cost for an institution today doing it themselves is going to be phenomenal. And I don't think with the current economic challenges we're facing globally, it makes any business sense.
What more can we expect to see from SmartStream and your innovations lab?
Oh, I don't know. They do that behind closed doors. They like that. Actually, I think the innovation team is doing phenomenally well. They're looking at areas like big data, enhancing our value proposition to clients, building that efficiency, the ability to handle massive transactions. I mean, today, even institutions in unconventional markets are demanding abilities to handle 100 million transactions a day. So it's, with the advances in digital payments and what have you, the volume is just mushrooming globally, and that's one of the prerogative today for the innovation lab. Other than that, I cannot say much because.
I've been to the lab in Vienna, and there's some cool stuff sort of happening there. What are some of the problems that they're trying to solve out there that you think in the next few years we just won't think about anymore?
Definitely big data. Reducing the cost of infrastructure for institutions, the ability to upgrade, move quickly, lowering the cost of ownership for our clients, helping them with their regulatory compliance as much as possible. I mean, many of the clients we've seen here, they seem to have a similar problem, yet the basic notion of really having them cooperate together seems to be non-feasible. So it has to come through a third party like us, where we look at like Innovation Lab, our RDU offering in the reference data space, where we actually do a lot of the work on behalf of our clients and just offer it.
Excellent. The last thing, this will be more for a little summary video. What do you think of this event so far?
Oh, I love it, man. I think this is the best Sibos, honestly, over the last 6-7 years. The quality of the participants were phenomenal. The value of the meetings, the decision makers are here. It's a beautiful comeback, I guess, to as much as normalized as we can. I'm looking forward to the next one.